From sunrise to sunset, come along with me and my dogs as I travel any and everywhere I want to drive, because home is where I park it. If this is the right product, because I ordered the wrong one last time, then this is about to change the game. I'm about to see if it works before I tell you what it is. Okay, I plugged one in. See, there's another for the other. And this goes into the EcoFlow. This is, I don't know what you call it. I really don't. But this is the 12 volt jack. This is what it plugs into. And then the solar panel will plug into here. And then I can plug this into the back of the EcoFlow. And it is working. Excuse my cords. Please excuse my cords. It is working. You see, the solar is coming in. So therefore, it works. So, I was under the wrong impression when I ordered my second EcoFlow box. I thought that you can just plug them in through the one cord that they give you. No. With EcoFlow, you can connect them. You can connect them. Thing is, you need the extra battery, not an extra generator. You need an extra battery. And so I have two generators. I have the Delta Max and I have the Delta 2. And the way I make them work together is almost everything I own is plugged into the Delta 2, because that's the one I bought prior. That's the one that works in the summer. It's enough power in the summer, so seriously, because there's enough sun. But it's fall now, and I promise you, I don't know, it's like we get four hours less of UV rays charging up my solar panels. So I bought the Delta Max. I'm not upset that I bought the Delta Max because I needed some way to harvest the power. Now I know. No, because with the EcoFlows, you can only use 500 watts of solar panel. So I'm not upset about buying two different EcoFlow generators. I use during, like I said, everything's plugged into my Delta Max. Now, when the sun stops giving me solar power, I turn the DC port on to make it charge the Delta 2. I call it my main power. It's my house power, it's my main power, and I call the Delta Max my extra power. And so I don't run out of power. I can have the fans on basically all night long if I want to. I don't run out of power. When I wake up, the Delta Max is dead, but the EcoFlow's like at 90, maybe. The lowest I've ever seen it doing it this way is 80. Now, if you try to charge it with the 110 volt, you're losing so much power. That way. So I started charging it with the 12 volt. I'm not losing power. Like I used to wake up, and even the Delta 2 would be 20-30%. Not anymore. I wake up I woke up before, and my Delta Max the day before yesterday morning, it was still on 1%, so it still had power. And my Delta 2, which is what I call the house power, the main power supply, it was on 99%. So it works that way. So the plug that I just got, I'll put it down in the description box, because I went on a YouTube search for the longest to figure it out. So I'm able to plug the 12 volt into that plug, and to plug the solar panel into that plug, and then plug it into the Delta, so the Delta 2. So therefore, I don't have to keep on switching the plugs every 12 hours, because that gets to be annoying. So now I just have to go on my app, and just when the sun starts to go down, I can go on my Delta 2 app, or my Delta Max, and just turn on the 12 volt, and then it will charge my EcoFlow Delta 2. So that's how I figured out that problem. Yes, I'm going to buy extra batteries. With the Delta Max, you could buy 2 extra batteries for it. And with the Delta 2, you can buy 1 extra battery. eventually I'm going to have all of them. And for those of you who don't already live in a van, you might not understand why. But for the rest of us, we know more power, more power, more power. The more power we have, the better. We don't have to worry about cloudy days, rainy days. So yeah, eventually I'm going to have all the 3 extra batteries. So I will never have to, like I told my sister earlier, I'll never have to look at my power and be like, do I not have enough power to make coffee this morning? Well, now that I have the backup battery, I don't have to worry about that. Like, but I don't want it to be nighttime and I'm like, oh, I got to use my gas grill opposed to using my regular, my power stove. I mean, the electric stove or any of my electric appliances because, oh, I might just run out of power. I'm going to get all of them because the more power you have, the better. And I couldn't afford to buy batteries. Well, I didn't think it would cost this much. Like, but honestly, I've got that on sale. I'm hitting up that Amazon Prime sale when it comes up. And the other, I'm going to buy 1 battery on the Amazon Prime sale. And then when it comes during the holiday season, because they lower prices during the holiday season, I'm buying the additional 2 batteries. So yeah, just patience. Like, but I have enough power to suffice right now, and I'm sure. No, because the winter, I'm sure I have enough power for the winter, but I want more power. I ordered spark plugs and fuel injectors a week ago. They showed up today. Now, I've done the spark plugs and the fuel injectors on my Ford Fusion. Well, it's not mine anymore. I gave it to my son when I bought my van. It wasn't that complicated. Now, I think it's hilarious on where my spark plugs are located in my van. They're located in something they call the dog box. Yeah, it's technically on the inside, like where the cab is. Like, I'm going to show y'all when I do the spark plugs. The spark plugs look real simple. Real simple. Like, real simple. I just watched a 20-something minute video of some guy doing the fuel injectors. Once you get everything off, real simple. It's just, technically it's simple. It's simple. You just have to disconnect so much stuff to get to the fuel injectors. I have a 1995 Chevy van G30 with the box truck on it on the back. Like, so serious. On the registrations it says Chevy van G30. Like, but I have to remove so much much to get to the fuel injectors, and then I have to put everything back. I prayed to God that this is the problem with my van. I pray to God, and if it is, I'm gonna be so happy, because the problem was solved with $220 opposed to me taking it to the shop. I hate taking vehicles to the shop because I feel like they think that I'm a little 5'5" girl and I don't know nothing, so they overprice me. And it has been proven that mechanics do overcharge women. They do. They truly. I'm not saying all of them do. So don't come at me in the comments. But I've been working on my own vehicles for the past 3.5 years, because why would I pay somebody when I could do it myself? And to me, the issue with me even going to the shop and figuring out what's wrong with Bertha, because that's what I named her, Big Bertha, is she's not running. So I would have to tow her to the shop. It cost me $256 to get her towed less than 5 miles. I take it to Meineke. When I can't figure out what's wrong with it, and I actually do have a shop I go to. I take it to Meineke, and Meineke is, I don't know, maybe 8-10 miles away. I don't think it would be $500 to get her towed to the shop. I think the initial charge is they charge you so much for getting her on the truck, or for the hookup in the disconnect. And I have I don't have just a regular size vehicle. A regular size vehicle, it wouldn't cost so much. It's just because my vehicle is so big. Let me go outside and show you how big my vehicle is. But because did they disconnect me? Oh well, the meeting's over. Because the vehicle's so big. See this? See it? You see how big she is? That's why they charge me so much to get it on a truck. If I had something small like that, it wouldn't cost that much. I know for a fact. It's just because they can't use a regular tow truck for me. They have to get the tow trucks that tow semis. And there was a mosquito. There's not even supposed to be a single mosquito around here. Mosquito just tried to get me. Oh, I'm upside down. A mosquito landed on my arm. Like, that is, I was saying it to myself earlier today. The number one reason why I like living in the desert is the lack of mosquitoes. Unless you're by a body of water, you don't really have to deal with mosquitoes unless it's like the rainy season or, you know, the day after it rains, maybe 2 days in a row. Like, there was a mosquito just trying to get me. I grew up in Elyria, Ohio. And so many people fuss at me, why don't you come back to Ohio? Why don't you come back to Ohio? And I always tell them, it's too cold. It's too cold because the winters are too cold. I was out there last year taking care of my sister when she had cancer, and I saw 5 degrees. The high was 15 degrees 3 days in a row. It's too cold. And they're like, what about the summer? Do y'all not understand how many mosquitoes out there? Like, seriously, I watched this show called World According to Briggs on YouTube. I love it. He gives me statistics on so many different various topics, but he named the top 10 states with the worst insects. Ohio was on that list. Ohio was on that list, and Ohio was also on the list of the well, not the world, the country, the top 10 states that with rat infested. Ohio was on that list as well. Texas isn't on that list. We have more snakes. We're number 1 with snakes in the country, but I only happen to see dead snakes in Amarillo. I've never seen a live snake. I've seen dead snakes. My son's baby mama, she said there was a snake in the house last year when I was gone, and I was like, y'all need to keep the house cleaner. As long as I've been in the house, yeah, that's the house that was my home before I bought Bertha. But as long as I've been in the house, I never saw a snake. I saw a snake in my house in Ohio. Yeah, it was in my living room. Came downstairs one time and there was a snake in my living room. It was a gardener snake, however you pronounce it. Like, I just picked it up and threw it outside because apparently I don't have fear. If I know it's not poisonous, I'm going to pick it up and throw it outside. Like, when I was a little girl, I was living in Palmdale, California. Desert. Snakes like there's so many different snakes in California, but I used to pick up snakes all the time and bring them home. And my foster parents, they didn't care for that. They were afraid I was going to pick up a poisonous snake. So they bought me my own snake. They truly did. They bought me my own snake, and I used to feed it little pet mice because they were afraid that I was going to bring home a bad snake. So they bought me a good snake. Why is this dog barking? What are you barking at? Look at them. They're so weird. That's Theodore and his grandma Precious. Oh, there's Treasure. They're just sitting in the front cab, and Theodore's barking. You can't see out the front window. There's the window thing in the front. I only need it in the front because at night I close the curtains, and you can't even see in the back if you wanted to with the curtains open. Seriously, like But yeah, I might do the spark plugs tonight because they're inside. The spark plugs, right? Spark plugs are in the dog box. The fuel injectors. I don't know. I might do it tonight. Might not. I just want Bertha to run. I just want Bertha to run. I'm so exhausted of her just sitting here. I don't really have enough money to go to travel, but I can still drive to the lake. I can still drive to the lake. I can drive to the canyon. Shoot, I can drive to a better park. I really do have 3 parks within walking distance of my house, but they're lame. They're lame. I don't know. Maybe I'll take the dogs to the big park tomorrow. It's supposed to be 90-something degrees tomorrow. It was 94 degrees yesterday. It's supposed to be 92 degrees tomorrow, but it was 77 here today. Makes no sense. Makes no sense why we had a 77 degree what day, but I enjoyed it. That's why I have on long sleeves. I definitely enjoyed not being hot for the first time since the first day of fall. The first day of fall, it was 65 degrees. We were having weird weather, and I know we're having weird weather due to the hurricanes and the tropical storms. They affect us. They affect us. Even though I live at the top of Texas, they still affect us. Not as bad as if I lived in a different part of Texas, but those tropical storms and the hurricanes that hit the Gulf, they definitely affect us. Anyways, I'm gonna go in here, chill with the doggos. I can't do anything while they're awake. I can't, because they're a nuisance. They're a nuisance. Also, I have to change my oil. I have to change the universal joint. Yeah, universal joint. I have that. And I have to change a headlight. So there's a lot. And install a horn, because the horn on my vehicle, it hadn't worked since day one. And in Texas, we don't have e-checks. We don't have smog checks. But we do have some type of check. It only costs $7. They check your tire tread to make sure it's safe to drive on the road. They check your brake lights so people know when you're stopping. They make sure you have headlights. Yeah, they check your lights, and they check your horn. I got away with the horn last year because my son's friend, best friend forever, worked at the shop, and he didn't check anything. He just was like, "Wow, this is your vehicle, awesome!" Like, but I have a new horn to install too. So yeah, there's a lot of mechanic stuff I'm gonna be doing. There's a lot of mechanic stuff I'm gonna be doing. I don't know. I might get it done. It's gonna be hot tomorrow. I wish it was like in the 80s. I don't like working in the heat. I might do it in the morning, because the morning it's still cool. Like, I have to do it in the morning or do it in the evening. Like, ugh. But there's a lot of mechanical things I'm gonna be doing. Yes, I do it all by myself. If I can do it by myself, I'm going to do it by myself. I already explained why. And it's just easier. It's just easier as far as I'm concerned on my mental status, because when other people butt in, they aggravate me. I work better when I work alone. I work best alone. Look, Treasure's behind me. Say hi, Granny. Say hi, Granny. She said hi. Yeah, so I don't feel like I need to watch the video again. I'm gonna watch the the fuel injector video while I'm doing the fuel injectors, because there were so many little things to do. And yes, I do have all the tools already, because like I said, I did the fuel injectors and the spark plugs, did the head gasket, I did the fuel outtake, the valve, I did the thermostat, and I did the brakes. I'm like, did I do anything else? But I did all that on the Ford Fusion, so I know I could do it on Bertha. Like, and I had, yes, my mom, she's like, you still have to gap the spark plugs, or I think the spark plugs or the fuel injectors, whatever one I have to gap. I have the little gapping mechanism and all that. I have the special. I'm such a girl, I don't know what the tools are called. I have the special socket thingy that goes, so I could get, I have all of those. I have all of those, because when Nelly, that's what I named the Ford Fusion, was going through it, I was constantly at AutoZone. Every time I discovered I needed a new tool, I was at AutoZone. My nephew Kai last year, he saw my toolbox. He said, "Titi Mama has all the tools," and because I be using them. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna do the spark plugs tonight, just because that's on the inside of the vehicle. And amazingly enough, it's a little chilly. If I didn't have on long sleeves and pants, I would be cold. Like. And I don't want to work while I'm cold either. That's why, yeah, I've done the alternator. I've changed the alternator. Sirens. I changed the alternator on Nelly. I didn't do the alternator in the starter on Bertha because it was just too cold for me to do it. Woo! Like you'd swear I live by the hospital. I don't. Ooh, that's the police. Ooh, that's 2 of them. Ooh. Ooh, okay, they're going down 24th. I live in a tiny town. Well, not a... Oh, Theodore howled with them. Theodore howled with the sirens. All the other dogs howl with the sirens. I've never heard Theodore howl with the sirens. So cute. He's oh, 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 oh. I got so distracted on what I was saying. Yeah, but I didn't do the spark. I didn't do the alternator or the starter on Bertha when I got her changed because it was too cold. I'm not working in the heat and I'm not working in the cold. I can't do it. But I'm a cut this video. Well, not this video, because I'm going to come back tomorrow and let you know if I solve the problem. So to be